We're over at MSNbC, where the lunatics have taken over the asylum. They're trying to throw shade on RFK Jr., who is also a lunatic, but they have no place to judge him because they're also Democrats. They're also liberals. They're also leftists. And so's RFK. Don't be fooled. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. The MAGA movement almost fell for RFK. And now the facts are coming out. And yeah, he says he had brain worms.
Donald Trump going on the offensive against Robert F. Kennedy Jr. In a 4-minute video posted to Truth Social last night. Trump ripped the independent presidential candidate, accusing him of lying about being anti-vaccine.
Now, it is true that RFK is anti-vaccine, and Trump is probably lying, saying that RFK is lying about the vaccine. It's not the vaccine that upsets me about RFK. So you'll see all kinds of infighting, lots of disagreement. My side, your side, everyone's side, pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, pro-abortion, anti-abortion, pro-brainworm, anti-brainworm.
So Republicans, get it out of your mind that you're going to vote for this guy because he's conservative. He's not.
I agree with Trump on that. He is not conservative. But Trump's trying to keep people from voting for RFK because he's anti-vaccine. And he is clearly anti-vaccine, and Trump got caught taking credit for creating the vaccine. So now he's stuck. So all he can do is tell his followers, which is us, to say, no, never mind what I said before about the vaccine. Do not vote for RFK.
And for those of you that want to vote because you think he's an anti-vaxxer, he's not really an anti-vaxxer. That's only his political moment.
He's not an anti-vaxxer. That's a political moment. No, I've watched RFK, detailed videos about what kind of anti-vaxxer he is. He is indeed an anti-vaxxer. But I'll tell you another reason, though, that's not a reason to vote for him. Just for being anti-vaxxer, I'm sorry. That's not amoral. You may be against the government overreach, but the election right now is between Trump and Biden. RFK isn't even on the table. So fine, you're against the vaccine, you vote for RFK, and you've just now elected Biden. And who's more likely to roll out a national vaccine?
I'd even take Biden over Jr. because our country would last about a year or two longer than it would with Jr. It would collapse almost immediately, and his family, a radical left, a crazy left, a bunch of lunatics, would take over, and our country will die very quick.
Now, I do agree with Trump on that one, that the JFK, the Kennedys are a evil, diabolical family. The only one I like is the Shriver lady who, whatever her name is. Was it Jacqueline? Which Kennedy was it? Someone started the Special Olympics. That's the only Kennedy I like, is the one that started the Special Olympics. I love the Special Olympics. Outside of that, yeah, the Kennedys are corrupt. RFK Jr. is a nut job. The only thing he ever got right was the vaccines, and I would still never vote for him. He's for reparations. He's for gun control. You'll see in this video coming up, he is as hyper-abortionist. You literally can't get more abortion-y than what he just now said.
So RFK's views on vaccines are fake, as is everything else about his candidacy. He is not a Republican, so don't think you're going to vote for him and feel good.
Well, that's true. He's not a Republican either, okay? But I'm only saying the vaccine thing. He is not being fake about that.
By the way, we should point out that Donald Trump's administration led Operation Warp Speed, which was a medical miracle, thank God, to get the vaccine into the arms of people and save lives.
Okay, and on YouTube, I can't comment on the vaccine. I will not disagree with the World Health Organization, because this whole thing goes away if I do. So I'll just leave that to MSNbC, saying thank God that Trump did Operation Warp Speed and brought us a vaccine.
Yeah, remember when Trump still talked about developing the vaccine at rallies and he got booed, and he finally figured out that this is a place that the cult was not going to go with him?
Now, hold on, dingbat. She says the cult wouldn't go along with him on the pro-vaccine thing. Now, she doesn't realize that she just now completely contradicted herself. If it was a cult, what kind of cult follower disagrees with the cult leader? Does she understand? Now, some cult did top-down mandate compliance, social distancing, masks, maybe even in some cases they were going for vaccine passports. It was not Trump that was for that. Someone did have a cult-like, I'm talking about the peer pressure, the people on the ground that were screaming at people, that were going with megaphones and calling the police on people out alone, surfing out in the ocean, like completely separated from everybody else. Separating school grade kids that they now see. I don't know how much I can get into this. I don't want to get into it, but I'm only saying one party did act very cult-like. We were that far away from having to get vaccine passports to get to fly anywhere.
The part of the clip that was astounding to me says he's better. Biden is better than Bobby Jr. He actually said Biden is better.
Now that is a really cool quote because Trump really does not want RFK to take votes from him. He'll say anything it takes, and he's flat out said he'd rather see Biden win than RFK win. Now, I don't know how bad RFK can be, but Biden is, he's a corpse. So there's RFK could only be better than Biden. But I'm saying I'm not at all for RFK. I've laughed that lunatic out of the building all day, especially because he's a Kennedy. Get that guy out of politics. Laugh him out of the room. He sounds like a meat grinder.
Why don't we just go to RFK Jr.'s position on abortion? So in an interview this week, RFK Jr. said he does not support the government putting limitations on abortion, even with full-term pregnancy.
Now, Mika is so dumb, she doesn't realize she agrees with him. Every pro-choicer that says it's a woman's issue, it's a woman's right to make decisions about her body, what they don't realize is it never stops being a woman's issue right up to the point of birth. You realize that? Like, it's still in the woman's body. So if they're saying the only thing we will consider is the woman's body, it's her choice, pro-choice. They philosophically agree with RFK, though all of them are going to talk about how his late-term abortion talk is a horror, is terrible, ought to be laughed out of the room. It's all of them that believe that. Now, I don't believe any of that. Late term, early term, I don't believe you should be able to take it at the first week. I don't believe it's a mother's choice. I don't believe it's a doctor's choice. And I don't believe it's a state issue. You do not ask a state whether if that human being over there can live or not, period. Same way you don't ask the state if you want to vote on, can I own that black guy over there? You don't take certain things to the states to vote on. So now let's get to RFK.
I wouldn't leave it to the states.
You wouldn't, right?
No, I would.
You would say completely. It's up to the woman.
I believe we should leave it to the woman. We shouldn't have government involved,
even if it's full term.
Even if it's full term.
That's infanticide. Full term, 9 months. It's a woman's choice. And there you go. That is why RFK is probably, because of saying that, there aren't many people who would ever admit to that. And we'll get to his vice president pick in a minute, because even she won't admit to it.
Okay. And I think that's what I wanted to clarify.
Okay, infanticide, that's what we're going to clarify. You are crazy.
Yeah, I'd like a little clarification on that, too. The policy position goes further than even most Democrats.
What about you, Mika Brzezinski? Does it go past you? Is it a woman's right, or does the woman lose the right to make a choice about her body at what? 3 months in the womb? 6 months in the womb? Because they roll out this life of the mother stuff, which is only like 0.03% of all instances, okay? It doesn't even apply to most of them. 99.5% of abortions are done purely elective. Now, do you think a woman, where does that right magically kick in or not? Is there a number? And everyone's just going to guess. They're going to go, I think you can own a black man if he's 3 months old. No, wait. If you're in the state of Georgia. No, wait. if he's really deformed, you can own him. That's basically what's going to happen with this debate.
Democrats and seemed to surprise his vice presidential pick, Nicole Shanahan.
Yeah, now here's Nicole Shanahan. His vice president pick is shocked that he has come out and said he's for a full-term abortion.
I spoke to Bobby about this, and at the end of the day, he says, yes, this is a woman's choice, period. And I said, even up till birth? And yes was his answer.
No. And that is not Bobby's position as I understand it.
Something made RFK go crazy and forget his own position. Something's eating at his brain, maybe.
My understanding is that he absolutely believes in limits on abortion. And we've talked about this. I do not think.
Look at this pained expression on her face, the pierced brow. She's going, what in the hell where did he come up with this? We've talked about this. And she's going, no, whatever RFK said, he's crazy. She's agreeing. He's a lunatic. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I don't know where that came from.
I know where it came from. Here's a news article. RFK Jr. says doctors found a dead worm in his brain. And I'm the creator of Earthworm Jim, so I did that cool little thumbnail. The presidential candidate has faced previously undisclosed health issues, including a parasite that he said ate part of his brain. Now, this explains almost everything, but mostly it should explain why you cannot vote for RFK. And half of MAGA was saying he'd make a great centrist vice presidential candidate. And I went, are you crazy? We almost fell for it, guys. Don't you do it. This guy, cuckoo.
Wow, it's a significant change in position for RFK Jr. In August of last year, candidate told NBC News he would sign a national abortion ban after the first 3 months of pregnancy.
Hey, he's a Catholic. He's going, I'll sign it for 3 months. I'll do a ban. Now he goes all the way to full term. That's because you can't trust a Democrat on this issue. They will always change their mind. I don't care who says it. If you're not an abolitionist, I don't trust you. I'm an abortion abolitionist. There. Guilty. Why? Because it's consistent. Bobby, by the way, RFK, if you're for an abortion after 1 week and he goes all the way out to the 9th month, he's at least being consistent, saying that it is a woman decides when life begins. Same way that a woman can decide if these bricks are water or turpentine. They can just make a magic wish and suddenly they can just declare this water. I announce you life worth protecting and having rights. I announce you the same status of a fingernail and we must remove you. Magic, right? And by the way, that you cannot have equal protection in a state. If you're pregnant in one state and you're a baby and you're pregnant in another state and you're the baby, you have unequal protection depending on what state you're conceived in. But I digress.
But somebody who's putting themselves out there that they are in a position to lead, for him to say 1 month, I'm for an abortion ban, a national abortion ban, and then the next month say, hey, yeah, I think a full-term abortion is fine. I don't think the state should have anything to say about that.
They're mad that so many Democrats, by the way, are for full-term abortion. They flat out said it. And now they're pretending like they're against it, going, the horror. It's only because RFK said it that now they're going, they're more angry that he switched or that he changed his position than that he is full on endorsing infanticide, because they know their party technically supports it all the way, full term.
It just shows that he's not a serious candidate.
Well, and you guys aren't in a serious party, so that's okay. By the way, I don't want to open up the abortion debate again. I'm not trying to make people upset about this. I just want to show you why RFK is all over the map. Says he has brain worms. Trump is attacking him, trying to take him out. That's the big picture. He goes on MSNbC, and MSNbC cannot find solid ground to even attack him from. They're exactly as crazy as RFK Jr. I'm Doug in Exile.